Yu Menglong. What happened when a dark web video reached the FBI and 798Q Beijing? On the surface, Yu Menglong was a polished public figure, actor, singer, heartthrob. Rising through the entertainment industry with carefully managed media exposure, his image was defined by professionalism and charm. But according to archived forum discussions and cybersecurity leak trackers, something unusual happened during the final phase of his career. A short video began appearing in encrypted directories. Access required a Tor-based browser and a private key. The clip, reportedly filmed in low lighting, showed a shadowed interior space with exposed concrete, industrial beams, and large mural-style art installations. Observers familiar with Beijing's art scene noted something unsettling. The architecture strongly resembled parts of 798 Art Zone. One still frame reportedly captured a partial exhibition sign with the number 798 faintly visible in the background. That is when speculation escalated. The 798 Art Zone is no ordinary venue. Originally a complex of decommissioned military factory buildings, it evolved into one of Asia's most influential contemporary art districts, hosting international exhibitions, experimental installations, and private creative showcases. Within it, smaller spaces like independent cube-style galleries often rotate exhibits that blur boundaries between performance art and immersive experience. The alleged video clip, if authentic, appeared to show a staged scene, a controlled lighting, a professional camera stabilization, a audio distortion added in post-production. This was not a casual recording. It looked curated, which raised the question, was it art? Or something else? The moment FBI entered online conversations, the narrative exploded. Here is what investigative records suggest. The U.S. law enforcement agency does monitor certain dark web activities, particularly if content crosses international boundaries, involves financial transfers, or intersects with cybercrime networks. However, there is no public confirmation that the Bureau launched any official case related to Yu Menglong. So why did the rumor persist? Because the server hosting the clip was reportedly linked to previously monitored financial laundering activity. When digital investigators trace patterns, they do not just analyze content, they track metadata, server hops, timestamps, cryptocurrency wallet associations. If a video shares infrastructure with known illicit channels, it can trigger automated alerts. It does not mean the content itself is criminal. It means it was in the wrong digital neighborhood. According to digital logs reconstructed by independent analysts, the video first appeared at 2:14 a.m. Universal Time Coordinated. It was downloaded 312 times within 24 hours. Within 48 hours, it disappeared. 12 hours later, mirrors began circulating. Meanwhile, public schedules showed that Yu Menglong had reportedly attended an event in Beijing days earlier. Coincidence? Possibly. But investigators noticed something else. The audio waveform of the video allegedly included faint background music that resembled an ambient art installation soundtrack previously showcased in 798. No official statement from 798 administrators confirmed any involvement. In fact, representatives reportedly denied knowledge of any unauthorized filming inside the district. Yet the speculation intensified. Digital forensic specialists who reviewed still frames pointed to inconsistencies. Lighting angles did not match architectural shadows. Reflections in glass panels appeared composite. Pixelation suggested post-production layering, which introduced another possibility. The location might have been digitally recreated. Advanced CGI reconstruction can simulate real-world spaces convincingly, especially industrial art districts. If so, the video may not have been filmed in 798 at all. It may have been staged elsewhere and edited to resemble it. Why would someone do that? To anchor the video to a recognizable landmark. To create intrigue. To manufacture a narrative. Throughout the growing online storm, Yu Menglong did not publicly address the speculation. No press conference. No denial. No legal threat. Silence. For a public figure accustomed to polished interviews and media management, this quiet approach was striking. Entertainment insiders often say that silence can be strategic. Engaging with rumors can amplify them. Ignoring them can suffocate them. But in this case, silence fueled mystery. To understand the phenomenon, we must understand the ecosystem. The dark web thrives on ambiguity. A file does not need confirmation to gain traction. It needs an intriguing label, a recognizable name, a mysterious location. YML_798_final.mp4 had all three. Within days, conspiracy threads multiplied. Was it an unfinished art collaboration? Was it blackmail? Was it a viral marketing stunt gone wrong? Was it deepfake technology targeting celebrities? Theories moved faster than facts. By the time digital media analysts began discussing the case publicly, one term dominated the conversation: deepfake. Artificial intelligence-driven video manipulation has advanced rapidly. It can map faces onto bodies, alter lighting, and recreate environments convincingly. If the video was fabricated, it would explain inconsistent lighting, a distorted audio, the rapid disappearance. However, forensic experts emphasize that high-quality deepfakes leave traces, edge-blending artifacts, frame interpolation anomalies. Without the original file, verification remains impossible. And that is perhaps the most critical detail. The original file has never resurfaced. Only compressed copies. While 798cube became a shorthand term online, it is important to clarify. 798 Art Zone houses numerous independent galleries and event spaces. There is no publicly documented space officially named 798cube as a central authority. The term likely referred to a cube-shaped exhibition hall within the district. This nuance was largely ignored in viral discussions. Once a name enters the algorithm, precision disappears. Three factors converged. 1. Celebrity involvement. 2. A mysterious art district. 3. A rumored FBI alert. It was the perfect storm. Investigative-style YouTube channels began producing breakdown videos. Comment sections filled with speculation. International viewers unfamiliar with Beijing's art scene added their own interpretations. The mystery became bigger than the evidence. According to archived darknet forum captures reviewed by independent cyber researchers, the first known appearance of the file came from a user operating under the alias Curator_404. The account had a no profile image, a no posting history, a no replies to comments, and no other uploads. It was created 19 minutes before the file appeared. And it was deleted 43 minutes later. In cyber forensics, that is not random behavior. That is operational discipline. The timeline was reconstructed from forum server timestamps preserved by third-party data archivers. Here's what analysts noticed. 2:14 a.m. Universal Time Coordinated, account created. 2:16 a.m. File uploaded. 2:19 a.m. Download count begins rising. 2:33 a.m. 2 cryptocurrency tips sent to upload a wallet. 2:37 a.m. Account deletes all metadata. 2:43 a.m. Account disappears. Total lifespan 29 minutes. But the upload itself was live for just over 40 hours before removal. The precision suggests premeditation. Whoever uploaded it knew exactly how long it needed to exist. When investigators traced the tip wallet associated with the post, they discovered something unexpected. The wallet had prior transactions. Not many, but enough to suggest it was not newly generated. The earlier transactions linked back to small payments from a European digital art collective forum, one that occasionally discussed immersive exhibition experiences and performance art installations. This is where the 798 connection intensified. Because 798 is not just a district. It is an ecosystem of experimental art. And experimental art sometimes blurs the line between staged reality and viral spectacle. Some art theorists proposed an unsettling idea. What if the video was not scandal? What if it was art? In the 2010s and early 2020s, performance art evolved into hybrid digital experiences, blending real space, recorded media, anonymity, and controlled leaks. Imagine an experimental exhibition, or a controlled gallery setting, or a staged recording, or intentional dark web distribution, a celebrity ambiguity. The result: global intrigue. If this was art, it was not meant to be understood immediately. It was meant to provoke investigation. This is where things get technical. Cyber analysts who examined a compressed mirror copy reported a curious anomaly. The file's embedded metadata showed a creation timestamp 3 months earlier than its upload date. However, the last modified timestamp aligned with the upload. 2 possibilities. 1. The video was filmed months earlier and stored. 2. The metadata was manipulated. If it was filmed earlier, what happened during those 3 months? Was it private? Was it circulating quietly? Or was it waiting for a strategic moment? Archived event schedules from Beijing show that 3 months prior to the upload, an immersive light and shadow installation took place inside the 798 art zone. The installation focused on a identity fragmentation, a digital selves, a surveillance aesthetics. Though no official record connects Yu Menglong to the event, observers later pointed out that the lighting pattern in promotional photos resembled the shadow geometry visible in still frames from the alleged clip. Was this coincidence? Or inspiration? Without original footage, the connection remained circumstantial. As speculation escalated online, something unusual happened. Nothing. No public legal filings. No press releases from 798 administrators. No official denial from management agencies. Even the rumored involvement of the Federal Bureau of Investigation never materialized into public confirmation. For investigative observers, silence can signal one of 2 things. There was nothing to investigate. Or the situation never met the threshold for formal action. It is important to state clearly: there is no verified evidence that the FBI opened a case. The rumor likely emerged because darknet monitoring systems sometimes flag cross-border traffic, especially if file sharing intersects with cryptocurrency flows. Automated monitoring does not equal prosecution. But the internet rarely distinguishes between the two. By the time mainstream commentary channels began covering the mystery, digital manipulation had become central to the debate. If the video used AI compositing techniques, or a celebrity likeness could be inserted, or a gallery space could be digitally recreated, or audio distortions could mask inconsistencies, experts emphasize that compressed mirror files cannot definitively confirm authenticity. Without the original, forensic certainty is impossible. This ambiguity is what fuels longevity. Mysteries survive when proof vanishes. Why did this story resonate so strongly? Because it combined 3 volatile themes. 1. Celebrity privacy. 2. Dark web intrigue. 3. International investigative rumor. In an era of increasing awareness about data leaks and synthetic media, audiences are primed to expect hidden layers. A short video becomes more than content. It becomes a symbol of digital vulnerability. There is a phenomenon in media theory called absence amplification. When information disappears, attention increases. Had the video remained accessible publicly, interest may have faded. Instead, its disappearance elevated its mystique. Now people were not discussing what they saw. They were discussing what they could no longer see. That difference is powerful. At the time of the alleged upload, Yu Menglong was maintaining a steady public image, known for drama roles and a carefully managed brand identity. There was no visible controversy surrounding him. No public scandals. Which is why the alleged clip's emergence felt jarring to observers. Mysteries attract more attention when they contradict established narratives. Independent architects reviewing still frames made one subtle observation. The industrial beams in the video did resemble parts of 798's factory-era structures, but similar architecture exists in multiple converted industrial districts worldwide. Industrial minimalism is not unique. It is reproducible. Which reopens the CGI hypothesis. If someone wanted to suggest 798 without explicitly proving it, industrial aesthetics would be enough. Now the investigation shifts from the video itself to the people who tried to trace it. Because once something vanishes online, someone always tries to bring it back. Roughly 2 weeks after the upload disappeared, a cybersecurity freelancer based in Southeast Asia claimed, on a closed technical forum, that he had begun tracing the origin server. He did not mention Yu Menglong by name. He referenced only a short artistic clip linked to Beijing industrial architecture. His claim was simple. The server hosting the file before deletion was not located in China. It was a temporary node routed through Eastern Europe. That detail changed everything. Digital footprints rarely vanish completely. Within hours of the original upload's deletion, mirror links appeared. Investigators analyzing the mirror domains found a hosting infrastructure tied to offshore VPS providers, a rotating IP addresses, automated self-deletion scripts. This pattern is common in a whistleblower leaks, a cryptocurrency scam pages, a digital art drops. It is not common in random fan uploads. Whoever orchestrated it understood infrastructure concealment. One anomaly puzzled analysts. The compressed mirror version contained a rendering signature suggesting it was exported using professional editing software. Software typically used in film production or high-end media studios. But the encoding compression resembled automated batch conversion. Two conflicting layers. Professional creation. Amateur distribution. That contradiction raised a disturbing possibility. The creator and the uploader may not have been the same person. Several months after the incident, an anonymous post appeared on an art community board claiming, "No unauthorized filming took place inside our 798 facility during that period." The poster did not verify their identity, but they included a detail that drew attention. They described a restricted access cube gallery space undergoing lighting tests 3 months before the alleged upload date. Lighting tests. 3 months earlier. The same 3-month gap embedded in the file metadata. Coincidence again? Or convergence? Most viewers focused on the initials YML. But analysts pointed to something else. Final. In media production, final implies a completed edit, a reversion approved for distribution, at the end of a production cycle. If the clip was malicious, why label it final? If it was art, why not a title? If it was blackmail, why not something cryptic? The word suggests closure, but the release created chaos. In investigative journalism, there's a concept known as engineered discovery. It occurs when content is released in a way that invites investigation rather than providing clarity. Key traits include a partial visibility, a timed deletion, a institutional name-dropping, a geographic ambiguity. This case checked every box. Whether intentional or accidental, the leak behaved like engineered intrigue. Let's return briefly to the FBI case. The Federal Bureau of Investigation often appears in online discussions whenever a cross-border data transmission is mentioned. A cryptocurrency wallets are traced. A dark web forums are involved. But monitoring is not the same as targeting. There is no evidence of a formal investigation into Yu Menglong. The rumor likely expanded because darknet infrastructure sometimes overlaps with networks previously under observation. In the digital age, proximity can be mistaken for guilt. By the time this incident circulated, deepfake technology had entered mainstream awareness. Advanced generative AI tools could map facial structures, simulate lighting shifts, recreate industrial spaces. If someone wanted to construct a viral enigma, they could. The fact that only compressed copies remain makes verification nearly impossible. And impossibility fuels case longevity. At the time, Yu Menglong maintained a steady professional trajectory. There was no public controversy, no visible career crisis, no scandal trajectory, which leads to an uncomfortable but necessary consideration. If the video was fabricated, motive might not be personal. It might be experimental. It might be artistic. Or it might simply be opportunistic. The 798 Art Zone is internationally recognized for boundary-pushing exhibitions. Conceptual installations often explore a surveillance culture, a digital identity, a fragmented personas. If someone wanted to stage a conversation about celebrity, privacy, and perception, there are few more symbolic backdrops than 798. But symbolism is not proof. Architectural consultants reviewing still frames noticed something subtle. The beam angles were slightly inconsistent with the most photographed 798 warehouses. Not drastically different, just slightly, which reopens two theories. 1. It was filmed elsewhere. 2. It was digitally altered. Industrial minimalism can be replicated. Concrete and steel are not unique fingerprints. 40 hours is not random. It is long enough to generate downloads, allow mirrors to be created, trigger curiosity, but short enough to prevent forensic saturation, avoid mainstream indexing, maintain exclusivity. This suggests intent, not panic. A cybersecurity consultant who later analyzed similar cases proposed that the deletion pattern matched automated self-destruct scripts often used in whistleblower leak platforms, digital art releases, anonymous political messaging. These scripts can delete the file at a preset timestamp, remove account credentials, overwrite server logs. If that system was used here, the uploader did not react to attention. They planned for it. 3 months prior to the upload, aligning with the metadata timestamp, Beijing hosted a technology art crossover exhibition exploring AI-generated identity. While not officially connected to this case, archived promotional material described installations that blended celebrity likeness simulations, used projection mapping inside industrial spaces, experimented with distributed storytelling. The phrase distributed storytelling stood out. It refers to narratives released across multiple platforms, sometimes including hidden channels. No official link ties that exhibition to the alleged clip, but the thematic overlap is impossible to ignore. Digital analytics firms that monitor celebrity search trends observed something subtle. Search traffic for Yu Menglong dark web spiked dramatically within 72 hours of the file's appearance. But here is the anomaly. The spike began before mainstream YouTube commentary covered it, which suggests the initial wave came from niche communities, not public media. That aligns with the upload's darknet origin. The story grew from underground outward, not the other way around. Cyber researchers comparing this incident to other international mystery drops noticed structural similarities. A short encrypted file. A high-profile name implied but not confirmed. A disposable uploader. A rapid deletion. A institutional rumor amplification. 3 previous cases in Europe and North America followed nearly identical timelines. In all 3, no charges were filed. No authenticity was confirmed. The narrative survived longer than the evidence, which raises a disturbing hypothesis. What if these are not scandals? What if they are experiments? Testing. How quickly a name can trend. How algorithms react to institutional keywords. How audiences fill informational gaps. In digital sociology, this is called networked mythogenesis. Myths forming in real time across distributed communities. If the Yu Menglong case followed that pattern, it may represent something larger than a single video. It may represent a stress test of modern attention systems. Some independent viewers attempted frame-by-frame comparisons between the clip and publicly available images of Yu Menglong. Their conclusions were inconclusive. Lighting distortion and compression artifacts prevented definitive alignment. But experts warn against crowdsourced facial analysis. Compressed files introduce edge warping, a pixel smoothing, a motion interpolation distortion, which means any visual match claim lacks scientific weight without the original file. The name 798 Art Zone carries symbolic gravity. It represents a creative experimentation, a avant-garde performance, a cultural edge. Attaching that location to a mystery elevates intrigue. But no official documentation confirms unauthorized filming inside 798 related to this event. The resemblance may have been aesthetic, not geographic. Mentioning the Federal Bureau of Investigation in online discussions dramatically increases case intensity. But experts emphasize, federal monitoring of dark web traffic is routine. Routine monitoring does not equal a targeted investigation. In this case, there is no public evidence of formal FBI involvement. The name likely entered conversation due to a cross-border hosting, a cryptocurrency transactions, a darknet infrastructure. Once introduced, the institutional label amplified the case exponentially. A real video, filmed in or resembling 798, distributed anonymously. Problem: no original file. No verified confirmation. AI-generated likeness combined with industrial CGI background. Problem: no original file for forensic validation. A staged release designed to explore identity, celebrity, and amplification. Problem: no exhibition claims ownership. As emphasized throughout, there is no verified evidence linking Yu Menglong to wrongdoing. No confirmed criminal investigation. No public charges. No verified authentication of the clip. Silence may have been strategic, or it may have reflected irrelevance. Without confirmed facts, speculation remains just that. This case illustrates a powerful modern reality. In the digital era, a file can appear and vanish. A name can trend without proof. A location can become symbolic through resemblance alone. An institution can be linked through rumor. And once the narrative takes shape, it lives independently of evidence. The original file has never resurfaced. No authenticated copy has been verified. No official institution has confirmed involvement. What remains is discussion, analysis, speculation, and a lesson. The real story may not be about a 47-second clip. It may be about how quickly we construct meaning around uncertainty. The cybersecurity consultant who believes the uploader wanted to be traced. The unexplored linguistic clue in curator_404. The algorithmic boost pattern behind the viral spread. A former darknet moderator's perspective. And the conclusion that may redefine what actually happened. Months after the initial leak, a cybersecurity consultant specializing in darknet forensics gave a rare interview under anonymity. His theory: the uploader wanted to be found, but only by the right observers. By those who know the infrastructure, the timing, the metadata. This wasn't about mass exposure. It was about curated discovery. According to him, the disposable account curator_404 was likely not a random handle. Every choice, the timing, the deletion, the minimal exposure, was part of a carefully calibrated puzzle. Analysts began dissecting the username. A curator implies an artistic or archival role. Someone arranging content. A 404 is an internet code signaling not found. The combination suggests intentional ambiguity. Someone positioning themselves as both guide and ghost. Some digital anthropologists argue that the handle itself may have been part of the viral mechanism. By signaling invisibility while claiming curatorial authority, it created curiosity and authority simultaneously. Even without mass media coverage, the story spread. Analytics experts noted an unusual pattern. 1. Early downloads concentrated on niche dark web forums. 2. Social media bots and semi-automated accounts began referencing the file without linking it directly. 3. Search engines began auto-suggesting related queries due to traffic volume. 4. YouTube commentary videos on the topic began trending internationally. This algorithmic boost created a snowball effect. The mystery became viral without any official publicity. An ex-moderator from a long-defunct darknet forum described the phenomenon in blunt terms. These kinds of drops are designed to make people chase shadows. You never get the full picture. The files vanish, accounts vanish, and the story lives longer than the proof. That's the point. According to him, darknet culture thrives on this type of controlled chaos. It ensures both exclusivity and virality simultaneously. By now, public commentary had divided into camps. 1. Art camp. believes the clip was an experimental digital art performance, using anonymity, metadata manipulation, and staged environments to test narrative perception. 2. Hoax camp suggests a deliberate viral manipulation, exploiting the fame of Yu Menglong, the symbolic power of 798, and the allure of FBI rumors. 3. Conspiracy camp posits deeper motives, financial, political, or psychological testing. None of these perspectives can be fully verified. Yet all contributed to the story's viral endurance. Beyond the 3-month timestamp gap, forensic analysts noticed additional anomalies. A file creation location code didn't match any known IP geolocations. A compression software signatures were inconsistent. A audio track embedded an inaudible frequency spike, often used in digital watermarking. These details suggest 2 possibilities. 1. The clip was carefully engineered to resist forensic analysis. 2. The clip was intentionally layered with breadcrumbs to mislead investigators. Either way, the digital footprint was anything but accidental. Silence, deletion, and inaccessibility fuel curiosity. Psychologists call it absence amplification. When proof disappears, speculation intensifies. People begin to fill in the blanks with theory, rumor, and sometimes panic. This explains why the story spread faster than any concrete evidence could support. The missing original file became the most important part of the narrative. Multiple factors contributed to global fascination. A celebrity association. Yu Menglong's fame provided instant international searchability. A dark web mystery. A digital underground network implied secrecy. A institutional rumor. The FBI connection suggested high stakes. A artistic ambiguity. The 798 cube reference gave the narrative a tangible, symbolic setting. Combined, these elements created a perfect storm for virality. Experts repeatedly warned, high-quality AI can simulate both faces and environments convincingly. If deepfake technology was used, it would explain. Are the pixelation anomalies? Are the lighting inconsistencies? Are the seemingly staged composition? Without access to the original clip, however, this remained speculation, but a plausible one. By now, a critical pattern emerges. This isn't just about a file. It's about how people construct meaning around uncertainty. We see a celebrity name invoked, a recognizable location referenced, a powerful institution rumored, a vanished file leaving only fragments. The combination creates an ecosystem where perception overtakes reality. A curated disappearance can be more potent than public exposure. A disposable account serve as both shield and signal. A metadata gaps may be deliberate storytelling elements. A algorithmic virality can occur without mass media coverage. Unverified rumors often endure longer than verified facts. In other words, the clip's significance lies less in its content and more in its digital and cultural footprint. Weeks before YML_798_final.mp4 appeared, archived darknet forum logs show something subtle. 3 short posts by anonymous users referencing industrial light tests. A final cut pending. A cube setting confirmed. At the time, they were ignored. In retrospect, they appear like breadcrumbs. But here's the twist. The posts were made by 3 different accounts, each created and deleted within 24 hours. This pattern resembles coordinated staging, not spontaneous chatter. Earlier, we mentioned the faint audio anomaly embedded in the compressed file. In Part 6, we go deeper. Digital signal analysts reviewing the waveform claimed there was a narrowband frequency spike at a level barely perceptible to the human ear. Why does that matter? Because watermarking techniques often use a subtle frequency injections, a patterned noise bursts, a layered ultrasonic signatures. These techniques are used in a film production, a music releases, or experimental digital art. If the clip contained a watermark, it suggests intentional authorship, not random distribution. Investigators comparing the Yu Menglong case to 3 previous viral enigmas involving public figures noticed structural similarities. 1. Short encrypted file. 2. No verified origin. 3. Institutional rumor attached. 4. Rapid deletion. 5. No official legal outcome. In every case, the public figure never confirmed involvement. And the mystery became the headline, not the content. It is almost as if the narrative architecture was more important than the media itself. Let's address something clearly. There is no public evidence that the Federal Bureau of Investigation conducted an investigation into this matter. But the very mention of the FBI dramatically increased search traffic. This phenomenon is known as institutional gravity. When a powerful agency is named, even hypothetically, it pulls attention toward the story. In digital ecosystems, gravity equals clicks. Remember the metadata timestamp, 3 months before the upload. Some analysts theorize that during those months, the clip may have been privately circulated, or it may have been screened within a limited audience, or it may have been refined and edited. Another possibility: the timestamp itself was engineered to create confusion. In digital forensics, time is one of the easiest elements to manipulate. Online discussions began referring to 798 Cube Beijing as if it were a singular identifiable venue. But the 798 Art Zone contains multiple cube-like galleries and modular exhibition spaces. The specificity may have been psychological rather than factual. By narrowing focus to 798 Cube, the narrative gained visual clarity, even if the actual location remained unverified. Data analysts observed a cascade effect. 1. Darknet upload. 2. Niche forum chatter. 3. Screenshot circulation. 4. Keyword clustering on search engines. 5. YouTube commentary spikes. 6. International cross-language coverage. At each stage, certainty decreased, but visibility increased. This paradox defines modern viral mysteries. Publicly available content from Yu Menglong during the time period showed routine promotional activity. No abrupt schedule changes. No public controversy. No crisis statements. Which suggests one of two things. Either the incident was irrelevant to him, or it was strategically ignored. Without official confirmation, we cannot assign motive. Why do digital audiences quickly connect ambiguous media to public figures? Because humans seek narrative anchors. A face. A name. A recognizable location. Once those anchors exist, the mind fills in the rest. This case provided all three. And the absence of clarity allowed projection to flourish. Some theorists argue that the clip was never about Yu Menglong. It was about us. About how quickly we attach identity to shadows. We connect art spaces to scandal. We invoke institutions without evidence. We treat disappearance as proof of significance. In that sense, the video functioned like a mirror, reflecting digital culture back at itself. Remember the 2 cryptocurrency tips sent to the uploader wallet within minutes of the file appearing? At first glance, they looked insignificant. Small transfers. Unremarkable amounts. But in darknet culture, even minor transactions can serve symbolic purposes. They signal a validation, a legitimacy, a audience presence. When observers see money move, even minimally, the upload appears more real. It transforms from random file to perceived event. In that sense, the wallet may not have been about profit. It may have been about credibility. Here is something subtle. No paid link ever surfaced. No paywall was attached. No blackmail demand appeared. Which raises a key point. The mystery generated massive search traffic, without directly monetizing the clip itself. That suggests one of 2 possibilities. 1. The goal was never financial. 2. The monetization occurred elsewhere. In digital ecosystems, traffic can be redirected indirectly. Through ad revenue on commentary videos. Through related keyword search trends. Through reputation building in niche communities. Attention can be harvested even if the original file vanishes. In media theory, uncertainty is profitable. Clear scandals resolve quickly. Unclear mysteries linger. Lingering stories generate repeated searches. A ongoing content creation. A long comment threads. A speculation-driven engagement. In short, mystery multiplies content cycles, which means even a 47-second clip can create weeks or months of digital output. A growing number of digital scholars argue that modern leaks sometimes function as interactive storytelling. Unlike traditional narratives, they appear fragmented, require audience investigation, spread across platforms, encourage theory building. The Yu Menglong case followed that structure almost perfectly. A central artifact, scattered clues, an unresolved ending. The audience becomes the investigator. Why did so many people immediately assume institutional involvement? Because in today's climate, a dark web equals danger. A cryptocurrency equals secrecy. A federal agencies equals seriousness. When these elements combine, suspicion accelerates automatically. But suspicion is not evidence. And in this case, no official documentation confirms a criminal inquiry involving Yu Menglong. For a public figure, even unverified speculation carries weight. Yet there were no emergency press statements, no defamation lawsuits, no media crisis interviews. This calm response could suggest a legal irrelevance, a strategic silence, or simple detachment from a fabricated narrative. Without verified facts, interpretation remains cautious. One of the most unsettling aspects of this case is how quickly it spread despite a lack of verification. Algorithms prioritize engagement, keyword clustering, emotional reaction. They do not prioritize confirmation. Once the names Yu Menglong, 798, and FBI appeared in the same conversation, engagement surged. Truth was secondary. Curiosity was primary. If deepfake technology played a role, the economic implication is larger. Synthetic media allows a realistic but fabricated scenarios, a viral ambiguity, a plausible deniability, and the cost of production continues to decrease, which means similar incidents may become more common. Not because celebrities are involved, but because attention can be engineered. After 6 parts of layered analysis, what is the simplest explanation? A short, ambiguous clip appeared briefly on a darknet forum. It resembled a well-known art district. It referenced initials matching a celebrity. It disappeared. Online communities amplified it. No verified evidence confirmed authenticity or criminal activity. Sometimes the most grounded explanation is also the least dramatic. But drama thrives where proof fades. The more we dissect this case, the clearer something becomes. The story reflects modern digital culture more than it reveals hidden crime. It demonstrates how quickly narratives attach to recognizable names, how absence creates allure, how institutions become symbolic amplifiers, how platforms transform fragments into global intrigue. In that sense, the real event may not have been the upload. It may have been the reaction. As technology evolves, cases like this may increase. Short clips, encrypted distribution, metadata confusion, institutional rumor. The public will face a new challenge, distinguishing between verified fact and engineered ambiguity. And public figures like Yu Menglong may find themselves attached to narratives that exist independently of their actions. The reason this story persists is not because of evidence. It is because of structure. It contains a recognizable name, a symbolic location in 798 Art Zone, a powerful institutional rumor tied to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Phase 1, pre-upload signals, weeks earlier. A disposable accounts reference industrial light tests. A subtle forum hints mentioning Final Cut. A no public association with Yu Menglong. A no mainstream attention. Interpretation. Possible staged breadcrumbing, or random coincidence amplified later. Phase 2, the upload, hour 0. A account curator _404 created. A file YML_798_final.mp4 uploaded. A 2 minor cryptocurrency tips sent. A account deleted within 30 to 40 minutes. Interpretation. Highly controlled release window. Phase 3. Controlled exposure, 40 hours. A file accessible briefly. A tilde 300 plus downloads. A mirrors appear. A search queries begin spiking in niche communities. Interpretation. Enough exposure to seed viral potential without full traceability. Phase 4. Deletion and amplification. A original file disappears. A screenshot circulate. A institutional rumors, FBI, appear. A YouTube commentary channels amplify speculation. A global search spikes. Interpretation. Deletion increased perceived significance. Phase 5. Silence. A no confirmed investigation. A no verified authentication. A no public charges. A no official statements tying Yu Menglong to wrongdoing. A the story sustains itself through speculation. Interpretation. The narrative outlives the evidence. After examining infrastructure, timing, behavior, and amplification patterns, the most grounded explanation appears to be a deliberately ambiguous digital release designed to generate controlled intrigue. Not necessarily malicious. Not necessarily criminal. Possibly artistic. Possibly experimental. Possibly attention-engineered. Key reasons. 1. The deletion timing was precise, not reactive. 2. The uploader identity was symbolic, curator_404. 3. The architecture resemblance was suggestive, not definitive. 4. The FBI rumor appears algorithmically amplified, not institutionally confirmed. 5. The lack of legal escalation suggests low evidentiary weight. Most importantly, there is no verified proof linking Yu Menglong to misconduct. The mention of the Federal Bureau of Investigation acted as narrative accelerant. In digital media psychology, a dark web implies danger. A cryptocurrency implies secrecy. A FBI implies seriousness. When these elements combine, engagement spikes, even if no formal investigation exists. Institutional gravity pulls attention regardless of confirmation. The industrial aesthetic resembling 798 art zone provided a visual plausibility, a cultural symbolism, a artistic ambiguity. But industrial architecture is globally reproducible. No verified evidence confirms filming inside 798. The resemblance may have been atmospheric rather than geographic. Celebrity names function as anchors in ambiguous narratives. Once the initials YML were interpreted as Yu Menglong, the story gained global traction. Search engines cluster keywords. Algorithms connect associations. Commentary channels amplify speculation. The name becomes central, even without confirmation. This illustrates how digital narratives can attach to public figures independent of verified action. Only 3 things could definitively close this case. 1. The original uncompressed file resurfacing for forensic analysis. 2. A verified statement from the uploader. 3. Official documentation confirming or denying investigative action. None have occurred. Which means the mystery remains structurally unresolved. This case teaches something bigger than any single clip. In the modern digital ecosystem, our evidence can vanish. Our narratives can thrive without proof. A silence can amplify speculation. Our institutional names can escalate rumor. Our algorithms reward ambiguity. The event becomes less about what happened, and more about how people react to uncertainty. What happened when a dark web video reached the FBI and 798Q Beijing? Based on all reconstructed evidence, it likely reached neither in any confirmed official capacity. It reached the internet. And the internet did the rest. A short clip became a legend. A rumor became a global conversation. A disappearance became proof in the eyes of some. But the truth remains anchored in what can be verified. And what can be verified is limited. It began on a private dark web forum. No public URL. No search indexing. No archive trail. The post was titled, YML, Final Proof. The file size, 2.3 gigabytes. Encrypted. Timestamped at 3:17 a.m. Within 24 hours, The thread was deleted. But not before someone downloaded it. Inside the file, grainy footage of a dimly lit industrial space. Concrete floors. Steel beams. And in the background, a mural recognizable to anyone familiar with Beijing's underground art scene. A mural located inside 798 Cube. The audio was distorted, but a male voice whispered one phrase repeatedly. They were watching. Then the video glitched. And ended. No explanation. No credits. No origin. And that's when things escalated. The file didn't just circulate among conspiracy forums. It was sent anonymously to multiple cybersecurity journalists. And one international monitoring group flagged metadata anomalies. Embedded within the video file were routing traces tied to US-based servers, which triggered a cybersecurity escalation protocol. That's how the Federal Bureau of Investigation allegedly became aware of the file. Officially, there was no comment. Unofficially, sources claimed the Bureau's cyber division examined the routing chain. The mystery deepened when investigators discovered the file had been mirrored through at least 7 international nodes, and someone had deliberately masked its source. But they missed one detail: GPS fragments embedded in corrupted frame data. Coordinates. Coordinates pointing to Beijing. To the 798 district. For those unfamiliar, the 798 Art Zone is one of Beijing's most famous creative districts. Avant-garde galleries. Industrial architecture. Underground exhibitions. And at its heart, 798 Cube. An immersive art venue known for experimental digital installations. Projection mapping. Encrypted performance art. Surveillance-themed exhibitions. Some described it as visionary. Others as unsettling. One past exhibit reportedly explored digital omnipresence. Mirrors reflecting viewers from hidden angles. Cameras disguised as art. Visitors recorded without knowing which feed was live. Coincidence? Or context? Because in the leaked video, the walls looked eerily similar. There is no verified evidence linking Yu Menglong to criminal wrongdoing. Let's make that clear. But speculation erupted because he had attended a private exhibition at 798 Cube months before. Photos circulated online of him at the venue. Smiling. Relaxed. Unaware of what would unfold later. Fans began connecting dots. Was he in the video? The face in the footage was blurred. But the build. The posture. Some claimed it matched him. Others dismissed it as conspiracy. Yet one detail fueled online fire. A ring. The man in the footage wore a distinctive silver ring. Yu Menglong had been photographed wearing a similar design. Internet detectives exploded with side-by-side comparisons. Nothing confirmed. Everything amplified. Within days of the leak, clips vanished. Threads deleted. Accounts suspended. Some users claimed they received warning emails. Others said their posts were shadow banned. Was it platform moderation? Or something more coordinated? The idea of a digital cleanup gained traction, especially when archived versions of the video showed frame drops, as if segments had been remotely altered. Cybersecurity experts later suggested it could have been file corruption, but conspiracy communities saw it differently. They believed someone didn't want the public seeing everything. And when silence meets mystery, the internet fills the gaps. Why would a US federal agency monitor a video linked to Beijing? Because cyber investigations often cross borders. Routing chains don't respect geography. If US servers were involved, the Federal Bureau of Investigation would assess potential domestic impact. At the same time, Chinese authorities never acknowledged any official probe related to 798 Cube. No shutdowns. No arrests. No press conferences. Which created two narratives. One side said nothing happened. The other said something happened quietly. And when transparency is absent, speculation grows louder. 3 weeks after the first leak, a second encrypted file appeared. Smaller. Less polished. But more chilling. It contained only audio. Footsteps. a door closing, and a whispered sentence. It was never meant to leave the cube. Then static. The phrase "the cube ignited theories." Was it metaphorical? Was it referencing 798 Cube? Was it simply viral marketing gone wrong? No one claimed responsibility. Not Yu Menglong. Not 798 Cube. Not any art collective. Silence. Again. As weeks passed, mainstream media moved on. But YouTube didn't. TikTok didn't. Forums didn't. Reaction videos hit millions of views. The phrase dark web cube trended. Yu Menglong's name spiked in search analytics. Yet no official charges emerged. No confirmed criminal findings. Which leaves us here with questions. Was this a coordinated art experiment? A cyber hoax? A marketing stunt? Or something genuinely intercepted by investigators? The truth may never be fully public. If a file travels from the shadows of the internet, through encrypted tunnels, across international servers, and lands on the radar of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, does that mean it was dangerous? Or simply misunderstood? And if a building like 798 Cube becomes the center of digital myth, is it because something happened? Or because mystery is the most powerful art form of all? As for Yu Menglong, his public appearances continued. His silence remained intact. And the internet still watches. What do you believe? Comment below. Because sometimes, the scariest thing isn't what we see. It's what we can't prove.